Hello everybody, my name is Sil, and we're gonna play Slay the Spire as the Silent in Ascension mode, of course, because I am nothing but a stubborn mule. That's actually really not bad. We're gonna take this route. I like question marks. So, I'm not gonna include any of this in the title, because I would find that to be clickbaity. And I'm not about that. Now at the same time, I mean, if I was a more prominent YouTube channel, I would definitely include it in the title out of respect. Out of, you know, solidarity, I guess it is. But where my opinion on the topic and my feelings on the topic matters very little to anyone beyond myself, I just wanna talk. Very recently, a YouTuber I enjoy watching quite a bit and have enjoyed watching for a while, who I would go to for basically all my content on whether or not a game coming out was good. Now, our opinions differ from time to time because, I mean, his tastes aren't exactly my taste, but he's usually subjective enough that I can look at what he's done and go, alright, here are things I really like about this game, and there are things that he didn't like, and I honestly think that my enjoying of the game would not be marred by the things he didn't like. That sort of situation. And I'm of course talking about Total Biscuit, the Cynical Brit, who he was the only curator I ever followed on, Steam's whole curator shenanigans. He recently made a post on Reddit, where basically his body has adapted to the chemotherapy medication that he was on, to the point where they don't work, and his liver has deteriorated to the point where he's not eligible for any new trials. We might actually lose this run, like, right here. And, if that happens, I'm gonna keep talking about this and just let the video play, I guess. And I have always greatly adored Total Biscuit. And to hear this is terribly sad news, because it means someone I'm quite fond of who has given me hours of entertainment and hours of very well done and informative discussion, because that's what I went to Total Biscuit about more often than not. It was his conversations. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. It was his opinions on things, his let's look ats, or Everything You Need to Know. Was that the... No, WTF Is. I think it was the WTF Is series. Yeah, that's it. And he's going to die. And he's going to die much sooner than a man of his age probably should. And that's pretty fucking brutal and awful. And I hate it. As someone who has a very close relative who is still fighting with cancer, and who literally gave away everything he owned to family and loved ones, and moved into a hospital bed because they told him he only had days to live. And to have him get better? Not better. I mean, he's still riddled with cancer as far as I know. As far as we know. As far as anyone knows. As far as the doctors know. He's still a very sick man. But my uncle got rid of his apartment, moved into a hospital bed, said goodbye to everyone and asked the nurses to, you know, help if it ever looks like they could probably save him, but it would just end up putting him in more pain in the end. And he got better. He's still sick, but he wasn't dying. He didn't die. He is still alive. Over 1 year after he was read his last rites by a priest, my uncle now has a new apartment. He's dyeing his hair, which is starting to grow back, and he had to get he got a new furnished apartment because he gave away all of his furniture. And it's just so amazing that happens. That happened the way it did for my uncle. And it sort of leads a part of me to want to hope, right? My interactions with cancer are different than most people's. Normally it's a slow, unforgiving approach until inevitable death. And I've lost family members to cancer like that, but I was far too young to realize I was losing them to cancer, or it happened before. Well, no, not before I was born, but they happened before I was aware of death, really. My grandmother, my uncle's mother, died of lung cancer when I was very little, and I really didn't have an understanding of what was going on. And now I do. Why does he open with that move? That's a dick move. And it's, I know most people are like, you know, there's no hope. Our beloved content creator is going to die, and it's just something we have to deal with. And maybe I'm just a stubborn son of a bitch, but I hate the idea of giving up on someone. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm the first person who will look at a situation where someone's dealing with grief, and I will try to get them through it and help them come to terms with the fact that people die. All right, I am the first person to do that, but I am also a stubborn son of a bitch who absolutely believes that fucking if someone wants to live, there's a good chance that that's going to affect the outcome of them living, even if it's only for a little bit longer. I honestly am someone who just believes stubbornness is fucking key. Even if it's so small, even if it's so minute, I think that the will to live and the will to find something, I don't know what, because I've never been in that situation, is extremely powerful. I believe that. It is something I believe. And a part of me hopes that Total Biscuit can become one of these crazy, I don't want to say miracles, but events of just outrageous fortitude or luck or whatever keeps my uncle alive. Because I really like the man, and he doesn't seem to have ever done anything that would, for my opinion, wish him ill. I meant to upgrade. And it's just, Total Biscuit is, in very many ways, just, it feels bad, I guess, is what I should say. That this person I know and care for is dying, and he doesn't know me at all, because of course he doesn't. Why would he? That would be silly. He has no reason to know random YouTuber from Canada on the internet. And that's 100% fine by my book. But I hope that if in some way or somehow my hoping and wishing, I'm not gonna say praying, because I don't believe that God, if there is a God, does that in the way that people like to use it. And that's a discussion for another video if people want to talk about that and my opinions on it. Excuse me, my throat's a little raw. And it's just, yeah, I won't say I'm praying. I'm not asking for some all-powerful deity to come in and spare this person. I'm hoping, thinking about him, and hoping that somehow my collective psyche with everyone else who's thinking and helping for him will somehow affect the outcomes of the event. Alright, some sort of like group collective psychic outcry. That I could totally believe happening. Because I'm weird. And I just, it's hard to have hope for that because it's like, it doesn't happen. Alright, I know my uncle is the weirdest case doctors have ever seen. People look at him actually just confused. Like, how is this man still alive? He should have been dead months ago. And my uncle spent the entire year in the military, and maybe that has something to do with it. And he spent his entire life in the military doing things he's not allowed to talk about in the military, out in the Middle East and whatnot, and in other places of Asia, and so forth. Maybe somehow along the way he was under the influence of something from the military, and it's just prolonging his life somehow. Who knows? I have no idea what sort of clandestine shit my uncle got into as a well-decorated member of the military. But it just always puts a little bit of that hope in my mind that Total Biscuit could somehow survive. That he could just somehow hit an upturn. And I don't know if that was a good idea. We're probably gonna die. And live much longer than what everyone thinks he might. Maybe even get well enough to return to making videos. I have no idea. I'm not gonna say, you know, you should really be making videos because, you know, I want your videos. That's kind of a fucking disgusting thing to say to a man who's, you know, dying. But it's just, of course, draw 2 on the first turn, none on the second. It's more of a, because of my unique situation, draw 2 more on the turn where he's debuffing again. Fuck, we're dead. Because of my unique situation, I have a hard time accepting defeat when it comes to someone I care about dying. I have a hard time accepting it because I've seen times where people were told outright, you are dead. You were basically just a corpse that still hasn't really caught up with itself yet. And to have those people turn around, I think we're just dead here. Poison does count as a debuff. That's nice. And I know in these situations, like, the default, I should have just, the default is accept it, right? Like, accept the fact that the person you care about is going to die so you can begin moving on. But, like, I know that people can survive this. I know that through some random bullshit happenstance, they can find a way, which is amazing. Alright, could you... Right, if we win, it's only because of apparition. Oh, we're not going to. I thought that would have lowered him down to 1. Oh, that fucking card makes that crazy good. Oh, the tail. And yeah, so it's a little hard for me as a person to... I think we win. Yeah, we win. To just accept that someone is going to die. It's not in my nature. At least from a cancer standpoint. And I really like Total Biscuit. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know him personally. Maybe at this point there's nothing more he wants. Maybe there's nothing more he wants right now than to die. We can actually save that card. And if that's what he wants, I have no right to tell him he shouldn't be able to have that. That's bad. We damn it. It's not something I have any right to ever say about someone else. And that's up to him completely. And I just want to say how I don't know what sort of medical bullshit is going on in the world, but I legitimately feel we need to find a way to stop cancer from killing off our populace. Because it feels like everything and everybody is getting it at some point in some form, and that it's just going to kill all of us one day, is what it feels like. And I don't know. I just have a hard time dealing with the idea of someone I care about, even if it's someone who doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, is dying. I just wish there was some way I could do something to make the situation better, to help, to find a way to assist it happen. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's go. Wait, no, potion. Yeah, give me that. We don't have enough health for that. We don't have enough money for that boy. So yeah, if TB ever finds his way to viewing this particular part of the internet, I just want him to know that, you know, there are people out there who feel for him very deeply and want to see him survive or go painlessly, depending on what he wants. And I mean, I know other people are going to be discussing this and talking about it because he's an amazingly influential part of YouTube culture and gaming culture, and he's just an important person, damn it, in my opinion. And yeah, those are just my opinions on the situation. Alright, 22 health fight against the collector. This is not gonna go well. No, I think we're just actually dead. Yeah, we're dead. Well, it was fun, guys. All right, we'll be back. We'll figure out this ascension at some point. Sell out.